Hello friends! I apologize in advance. This video is actually going to be kind of short. I don't have a lot of time right now. I've got to run to one of my other jobs, but I didn't want to leave you hanging. I wanted to give you something. So I had a comment asking me to make a video about turns, but all it said was turns. So what kind of turns? There's like 100 different turns you can do in ballet. So this is going to just kind of be like a broad, general things you need to think about when you're doing turns, whether it's a pirouette from fourth position, whether you're doing turns across the floor like piqué turns or soutenus. The things that your body has to do to prepare for a turn and the things that your body has to do while you're up in the turn are pretty much the same. The only difference is the position you happen to be in while you're turning. So when you do a turn, you have to feel like one unit, like one solid moving object. You can't let your body go in pieces. I had one teacher that said you have to feel like a book. Your shoulders over your hips, like the spine of a book, right? The top corners and the bottom corners. So you can't let your shoulders go and twist away from your hips. You can't let your hips go and leave your shoulders behind. Here and here has to move as one. So that's the first tip. Feel like one condensed together unit when you're turning. The second most important thing is you have to have a good releve. When you do any kind of turn, it's essentially a balance. You're balancing on releve. You just happen to be turning at the same time. So you have to have, and remember, look, if you watched my tendu video, I said tendu is everywhere. Tendu is everything. So where do you think a good, straight, strong, standing leg comes from? It comes from a good, straight, strong tendu. So if you're starting out at the bar with lazy legs and you're not really pulling up all those muscles, your turn is not going to be very pulled up either. So when you're at the bar, work on tendu, work on dégagé, work on your balances at the bar. This is your turn. And when you're preparing to do a turn and when you do a turn, you have a couple of sets of opposing forces that really help make it happen. So in your preparation, you have down before you go up, and you also have out before you go in. If you're doing a piqué turn, you have down first. The down helps you go up. If you're doing a soutenu first, you have down before you go up. And if you're doing pirouettes, you have a down before you have up. Your arms help too. Your arms must help you. In a piqué turn, out before they go in. In a soutenu, they're out before they go in. So you have down and out, up and in. This is your springboard, and this is what keeps you together. So unfortunately for me, since I just had surgery, I'm still not in point shoes yet, and I haven't worn slippers in years. So I was actually at the point where I was better at turning in point shoes. So right now I feel kind of weird, like I'm sticking to the floor. So you're probably going to see some really shitty pirouettes and be like, why am I listening to this girl? But whether you're doing point shoes or releve, you still have to remember a couple of things. Your preparation should be mostly in the front leg. Even though you plie the back leg, or some people don't plie the back leg, you can't be back here because you have to hurl yourself forward to get over your leg. And that's going to throw off your balance. Or if you don't even hurl yourself forward, you're probably going to turn like this, and then you'll fall back on your butt. Nobody wants that to happen. So your weight should be in your front leg. I have to think of forward. Some people can think of just going straight up, but I personally have to think of forward. And I know I have to do this especially because I'm a little weak right here in my abs. I'm very hypermobile, so it's very easy for my back to just give out. So I really have to think more forward if I want a turn to happen. Another thing I noticed after watching videos of myself, and I'm ashamed to say, this far in my ballet career, I'm still doing these horrible, ugly things. Your arms have to be strong and in front of you, and even though they're strong, you can't grip them like this, because then your shoulders come up, then you drop your elbows, and doing those things ruins your whole line, and it hunches your back, and it makes you very closed here, and it's very hard to turn when you're short and closed and hunched over. I had teachers come up and lean on my arms. They would lean on my second position arms, and she would say, you have to hold me with your arm. And that strength actually comes from right here, right where your shoulder blades are. Look at my shoulder blades. If you can see them, there's like a press down and flatten feeling. Okay, so I don't want you sticking your shoulder blades out weird like this. It should be down and flat, like down, flat, back. So for me, when I was struggling with my arms, I had to actually think of relaxing and just kind of letting them go in front of me. Okay, that doesn't mean let them go all loosey-goosey noodle arms, because in ballet, your arms should never be where you can't see them. If I'm looking straight ahead and I move just my eyeballs and I can see my fingers, I'm good. But if I'm out here and I have to turn my head to see my hands, too far back, okay? And the more you open, the more you throw off your line, and the more effort it takes to bring them back in for your turn. So don't let your arms run away from you. Just keep them right here, right in front of you. No big deal. Out, and they come in at the same time your passe comes in. And keep them round. Keep your elbows lifted. I was watching videos of myself as recent as this week, and I was seeing this stuff, and I was cringing, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing that. How come nobody is correcting me? So here, just relax. Forward, just let them go. Keep them strong, keep them round. You also have to spot. You have to be loose, right here. I tell my kids to pretend they're having a staring contest. Look, keep looking. Look, keep looking. Not only does that help prevent you from getting dizzy, it can actually help squeeze out the extra turn. Your body's like, okay, that's home. One full turn is this. So if you whip your head around and see your spot, the rest of your body will follow. If you lose your spot and you're back here, your body's gonna give up. Your spot tells you what a full turn is. So if you're my spot, you're 12 o'clock, I have to go all the way around the clock and see 12 o'clock again. So remember, you have to feel like one solid unit turning all at once, except for your head. Your shoulders don't leave first, your hips don't leave first, so your arms can't be back here. You have to be in this position during your turn, the same way you would be doing your balance at the bar. Strong arms, but not too tense, because you don't want your shoulders coming up and you don't want to drop your elbows. You just have to feel a nice, smooth, round first position. Go back to your childhood classes and they say, imagine you're holding a big beach ball in your arms. You got to hold that beach ball. And then eventually when you get more and more pirouettes, you can close a little bit. Some techniques close like this, they cross. But if you watch ice skaters, when they bring in their limbs, that's when they start turning faster. Same thing in ballet, we just have a little more friction to work with. The high lifted releve and a lifted straight leg, whether you're turning on 2 feet like in a soutenu, or whether you're turning on 1 foot like a piqué turn or a pirouette, your preparation for a turn is usually a down and out, and then the turn is an up and in. The preparation is the springboard. Your arms help you and your plie helps you. Focusing on all turns could really take all day, so I just wanted to give you some general tips. So again, I apologize. I know this video was very broad, very short, very general, but the question was kind of general too, so I don't know what specific turn they wanted me to focus on.